What's up, everyone? In this video, I'll talk about the number one factor that limits Indian men's dating opportunities in the West. This is the one thing that usually is behind all the other more superficial problems that people report to me. I don't know how to text, I don't know how to escalate, I don't know how to flirt. Usually that's not the real problem. The real problem is what I'm about to share with you here in this video. But for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Achil Prabhat Rudolph. I'm a social confidence coach, and I help predominantly South Asian origin men build the kind of confidence that is necessary to go out there into the real world and attract the right partner for a relationship here in the West. And in this video, I want to show you a follower, and he sent me a video. He sent me a message like a lot of people do on Instagram. And he's actually an IIT graduate, and he's living abroad but went back to India. I was kind of confused. I'm going to just play that and put it on the side here.
Hi Akhil bro. Thanks for reaching out. When it comes to dating, like currently I'm in that age when I have to get married and I am getting uh, some little bit of pressure from home, but that is not something very huge I would say. But also in a time when I have to make choice whom would be going forward. So I don't know whether I would be looking much for going out and start dating, but also I think I'm a little bit confused along what decisions I have to make now when it comes to relationship.
The sad reality is that most Indian men in their late 20s and 30s are in that state where they really don't know what they even want. Now, this makes them highly unattractive to Western women. There are some things that are always generally considered as more attractive, especially in men, and one of those things is having a direction in your life, knowing where you're leading your life and having that self-autonomous agency where you are actually leading your life and not someone else. And this is something that this person doesn't have right now. Frankly, Indian parents ended up lying to you. They told you that you should focus on your career and everything else will sort itself out. But that does not happen. If you're living in the West, then focusing on your career will keep you single. You need a mix of different skills to succeed at dating. And that's because in dating, you get evaluated by potential partners on a very holistic level. You get evaluated as an overall person. And it's not enough to just be great in one dimension. Of course, in the end, the overall aggregate evaluation can be influenced a lot if you're really, really good in one dimension. But you need to have world-class, complete Nobel Prize winning professional skills if you just want your career skills to be enough. If you are not on that level in your profession, then you will need to create a mix. You'll have to have not just career skills, but also social skills, also an exciting life that you can offer and a direction that you're leading your life in. Regular people who just live inside of society might not have to figure out their purpose and have a lot of clarity around this. For them, the system just kind of works. But if you're an immigrant, then you cannot afford to just do what other people do and be lost like other people are lost, because the system that you find yourself in is not working so well for you. There's another example that I want to show you where another guy texted me and he said, "Hey, I just don't know how to approach a girl. When I do that, I can start the conversation. It's easy for me to start, but then I don't know how to take it to the next step." And I told him, well, that usually means that you're not attractive enough. And let me ask you this, what is your purpose in life? I actually asked him directly because I knew that this might be the problem. And he said, for now, I'm in engineering. When the answer to the question, what is your purpose in life, starts with for now, then you know you have a problem. That cannot be a real purpose in your life to say, for now, I ended up here doing whatever I'm doing. That sounds a lot like you're doing what you're doing because you think you're supposed to be doing that. People like this, people who are just doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, don't end up excelling in their field, don't end up really making a difference in the world. They don't end up having passionate, having extremely fulfilled lives because they're more or less directed by others, more or less slaves in a way of the system. No one wants to be with someone like that. There's another element here, which is that a lot of the Indian men that we are talking about here are confused because they're under time pressure. And they know that if they don't figure out Western dating, they will have to go for an arranged marriage, which is an option that will always be presented to them very clearly from their parents. And they are under some pressure, even though the man that we saw earlier said he doesn't have a lot of family pressure. The fact that he mentioned that means that there is pressure. And that pressure is something very dangerous because it will force him to take a decision. And he thinks right now is the time where he has to make a decision. He thinks that he needs to decide in the next 2 years whom to get married to. That's his state. And if you're in that situation, it's basically too late. In that situation, you cannot find a partner on your own in the Western dating market because that desperation, that pressure, that need for it to work right now will show, and that'll push anyone away. So you need to realize that you don't have to get married in the next 2 years. That's just, again, your parents, your social conditioning. That's just, again, outside forces telling you that you have to conform to certain standards. And it's again showing that you don't have enough inner compass that's showing you what you need to do in your own eyes. Take some time to sit down and really think about it. When do you want to get married? And would you rather get married by that age, even if that means you will be miserable? Or would you rather get married a bit later? And the good thing is, for a man especially, you can marry someone who's younger than you. There was a client recently who told me, yeah, but is it okay if she's like 8 years younger than me? As long as she's an adult and you're an adult, you can marry legally. If it's okay or not is not something I will decide for you. It's not something your parents should decide. It's not something society should decide. It's something you have to decide. You have to decide whether with that particular person an 8-year age gap is okay or not. Because that's going to be very different depending on how quickly you both matured. It's going to be different based on where you live in the world and what kind of consequences that will have. Of course, it's going to be difficult to be with someone who's much younger than you. But if you think that you can manage it, then you should go ahead with it. That's a question I cannot answer for you. Of course, this is difficult if you're coming from a different culture where it wouldn't have been necessary to think about these things. And so it's very understandable that you're struggling with this. But if you need help with navigating this space, then check out the link in the description where you can schedule a call with me or someone from my team, and we can talk about making a plan, making a roadmap that you can implement on your own or with my help. For now, Samgachadvam, Namaskar.